Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our free masterclass today. My name is Vivian. You guys all know my name. And what I wanted to focus on, the title was How to Focus on Yourself. So this is about really learning who you are to balance making money and having fun. So today I'm going to share with you some of the nuggets that I've learned from human design, and perhaps you'll be able to find your own chart. Remember how I said on the post, if you can find, let's do that now, make sure that's out of the way. If you go to humandesignamerica.com, right, and you're going to have to print out your own chart, okay? And you can also start circling certain items about yourself so that when you know more about who you are, then you're not going to get confused or you're not going to compare yourself with anyone else. So when you start making a business, creating your own, form of livelihood, you can actually go, okay, this is what I'm good at, okay, based on your astrology, your I Ching, based on the chakra system. This is you. Now, some of you may not know the date of, well, you know your birthday, but some of you may not know the time of your birth. So let's say it's asking for that and you can't find your birth certificate. For now, you can muscle test if you know how to muscle test, right? Is it morning, noon, or nighttime when you were born? And then kind of guesstimate like the closest time that you were born. That's what I would suggest to you. Usually an astrologer that's really good at this would be able to tell you exactly what time you were born, right? Based on the system that they have. But for what I can tell you, knowing a little bit about who you are, your human design, would give you a lot of information on how you want to design your life. You want to have some form of a structure, right? Because at least you know what to focus on. Because if one coach tells you this, another coach tells you this, but you really don't know who you are, that's confusing, right? So sometimes we imitate other people because we're like, I kind of like her, so I'm going to be like her. But then when you finally live that life, you're like, I kind of don't like that. Even if you're already making money, but that's not really how you're designed to be. Sometimes that doesn't really fulfill you. It doesn't make you feel satisfied. It doesn't make you feel like you're happy, right? So then we go turn into addictions or some other weird thing because we want to feel better. So my suggestion is, if you're able to, like I said, go to humandesignamerica.com, print your chart, and then we're going to figure out who you truly are. Because once you know that piece, even your work, you can focus on what you're meant to be. And if you don't have skill set for that, then you can learn those things, right? By enrolling in different classes with other coaches. But the main thing here is we're looking at the bigger umbrella, the bigger viewpoint, right? How am I going to live my life? Because the way I live mine may be different than yours. So you have to know what's good for you. Okay, so let's get started. All right. But thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate every single one of you. All right, so what to focus on to balance money and fun. Now, I wanted to share this with you because based on my human design, actually, you know how I keep on saying I'm a money magnet activator? I have 3 money channels, you guys. So literally when I do my readings, right, I know exactly where to find the money really quick. Now, you gotta like jump on it and do it, right? Because I'm not you. I'm just saying this is how I read your chart. So let's take a look at this. All right, so my goals here is to outline your journey of an entrepreneur. So for some of you, you're still working for someone in corporate, but then you're thinking, is this really the life for me? Pay attention, because in corporate, right, you have a specific title, a specific job. When you go into entrepreneurship, the real entrepreneurship, you will depend on other people for their skills and talents in order to build this A+ team that you'd like to have. It's a different animal altogether, right? I'm going to share 5 ways to activate your money flow with ease and grace. Identify what stage of spiritual consciousness you're in, because there's a development that we go through, and you take the next step. Okay. Hopefully you will take the next step. So I talk about the 4 stages of spiritual journey because you, me, we all go through this. Sometimes it's in cycles. The first time is awakening. This is the very first stage. You have lots of stress, lots of emergencies, lots of drama in your life. It could be a health scare. It could be a money issue. It could be a relationship issue, right? Like going through a divorce, going through some difficulties with relatives. That's awakening, because that discomfort is telling you something like, do I really want to repeat this for the next 10 years of my life? That's awakening. Your soul is being awakened at that stage. So pay attention, go ahead and write down, maybe on a piece of paper, when was the time that you felt like this? So it could be you've already decided to be an entrepreneur, but then you're like, oh no, what happens now? There's no money coming in anymore, right? Because whatever money you've saved up, it's somehow gone. And then you're like, are there any resources? Yes, definitely. So the second stage is discovery. This is a lot of self-development, because, and a lot of healing, right? And a lot of, maybe you're reading and exploring a lot of spiritual books, some of these classes. That's the discovery phase. The question is, do you apply what you learn? Because it's good to read, right? I've read The Secret, I've read the 4 Agreements, I've read a lot of spiritual books. But until you're forced to take an action, you really don't apply those things you read, right? Just think about it. Like, ooh, that sounds good. Well, yeah, because that's Oprah, so she can do all that, right? But she didn't become like a kid that needed help to somebody famous, right? It's a stages. She didn't just go like, oh, I'm just famous the next day. It didn't work like that. It took her years to develop that name, right? The next stage is surrender. What you do doesn't make sense. Like literally, you're like, you know what? I'm tired of this job. I think I'm just gonna like move forward. It doesn't make sense. However, sometimes when you're quiet, right? I don't know if you guys meditate. A lot of you, I'm sure, do. You spend quiet time and you're just breathing. Maybe you're doing yoga. Maybe you're just driving by yourself and suddenly there's this inspiration. I call it a divine download. A lot of times I'm very visual, so I just see it as it is, like, oh, where did that come from? A lot of times it's a future insight. Okay, so we get downloads or divine guidance, or I call it synchronicities. You know how you're thinking of something and then somehow you meet someone and then they finally just give you information that you're like, whoa, wow, that was way beyond what I was expecting, right? That's the surrender piece, okay? And then you get to the flow. Okay, so when you're in the flow, you allow higher guidance to guide you. Spirit source brings opportunities to you. I remember this, I was doing physical therapy at the time. I had my clinic, right? And we didn't have any clients at that time. And I said, I just thought, like, I think I'm going to need another physical therapist. Okay, mind you guys, my clinic in the past, and some of you know my physical therapy clinic, it was kind of hidden. There's no sign outside. You have to like drive in a complex to even see that I had a physical therapy clinic. A guy was walking down with his resume and I'm thinking, uh-oh. I said, oh my God, I'm sorry. I was only joking. I said, I thought about hiring another one, but I didn't mean tomorrow, right? It like landed the next day. So that's how I realized that the manifestation can happen immediately. But then if your mind, right? Your mind is thinking, oh no, that's impossible. That's not going to happen. Then of course it's not going to happen. So sometimes we put so many blocks in front of us, so we can't really get what we're praying for or we're asking for. So pay attention, because this 4 stages of a spiritual journey, this happens all the time. And you think, right? You're probably thinking, oh, Vivian, you're in the flow, so you really don't have that problem. I can tell you this. Remember, there's health, money, and relationship. This process happens over and over again. You have to pay attention when you're in any of these stages, because at least you know when you finally surrender and stop fighting things, you're going to get to the flow, right? And then you're like, oh my God, that wasn't really hard to make that money, right? It's not if you can move with what's congruent with your path and purpose. So that's what's important. Okay. So here we go. What money problems do you have? Right? You guys have heard me say, yeah, sharing my journey. I've had some form of a TIA, or like a stroke, like a warning sign that, hey, lady, whatever you're doing, you shouldn't be doing that anymore. Because I lost my right side for about 3 weeks. I was kind of paralyzed a little bit. Not so bad. It just looks distorted. I look funny. Okay. So that was my 2x4 from the universe saying, hey, do something else, because this physical therapy thing you're doing is not what you're meant to do forever. And you can figure this out if you allow the flow to take you, right? So what steps can you take? So remember I said, if you went to humandesignamerica.com, so for some of you who just came in, maybe go Google that. It's a free website, and you can input your personal data, including your date of birth and time of birth, and it's going to spit out information for you. So I want to share that with you, so you have some form of a guidance system in finding, what is my purpose? What is it that I need to be doing 80% of the time, right? So then you can focus your energy on that. So before we do that, let's talk about money. The positive beliefs about money is on the left side. Money is energy. It's pretty neutral. Money is freedom, right? If we have a lot of it, just close your eyes for a second and just feel what it's like to have everything you need. Everything's provided for you. Money can be the root of all miracles, because perhaps when you hear someone needing help, you could just donate that time, that money, that energy, right? Money is happiness. Do you feel happy when you're like surrounded by this mountain full of money? And money can also support people, especially the causes, whatever that you were meant to do in this life. If you're able to just provide and not worry about that, how does that feel, right? You probably feel the sense of lightness and openness, versus money is the root of all evil. We've heard that so many times, right? Money means handcuffs. Yeah, if you're married to your job and you can't really decide what time you need to clock in and clock out, money is no rest. Money means obligation, right? Money means headaches. So these are the negative beliefs. Money creates trouble. Money is scary. Money can disappear fast, or money is a limited resource. So if any of those beliefs are even a hair in your system, it's going to throw you off, because when somebody offers you an opportunity and you're like, oh no, I can't do that because I really, like, you're working hard, but then you're like, well, I love it because I only have a few clients. I can take care of them. But then when you go and I say, okay, let's multiply that to 100. And you're like, ugh. Okay. When you have that feeling, if I just said, let's say your 6 clients becomes 100 clients, or 1,000 of them you're serving right now. If you start to feel like you can't breathe, or there's some physiologic change in your body that doesn't feel very good, you probably have some negative beliefs about money. So everybody, let's all take a deep breath. Just squat down. This is what I do when I'm in my head. Go ahead and squat down, kind of spread your legs, put your hands like in a prayer position, and just put your thumbs close to your heart and just allow yourself to breathe. Okay, so just squat down and just breathe. And I want you to keep the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth and just breathe in. Perhaps we could just release all the negative beliefs that you guys are thinking about money right now. Maybe you've associated the money part with negative people in your life, like the crooks and the people that have probably like stolen from you. So you want to release that and just forgive them, knowing that that'll come back to you in a different way. Okay, so just breathe, release, squat down, touch the floor if you have to. Some people like hanging their head down. Okay, and then allow, like as if you have blessings coming down from the sky, and then bring it to your body. I want you to just feel what that's like. Okay. All right. So as you keep on breathing, I'm going to work on, I want you to understand how these beliefs that you have about money have been formed. By the way, according to a book I've read on access consciousness about money, we actually kind of inherit a lot of the things we've observed when we were young. So from 0 to 8, all of our money beliefs have been formed at that time. So remember, if you have a thought, that produces the feeling you're having about it. So if you think money is bad, of course, you're not going to feel good about having it, right? It feels dirty. And then action, that's why even if you say you're working like 8 to 5 or whatever hours you're working, the result is not quite going to be what you wanted because the thought, the feelings are not quite congruent with the action, right? So if you have a repeated thought, it becomes a belief. So when you start to be okay with it, right, it doesn't really matter it came from here or here, if you can discern the difference, right? Because like, okay, not all of us, I mean, think about it, right? We're not all 100% pure. Think about that. There's parts of you when you're not feeling good that kind of like show up negatively, right? That's the truth. That's the reality of it. So pay attention, because I know when I'm not feeling good, I don't interact with people. I actually go outside, walk in nature, feel better first, and then I go back interacting with others again. Because otherwise, you let those negative thoughts and emotions influence your actions and your communication with others. So you're in control of you. You can't be in control of everybody, okay? So the more you know, right, what feels good to you, what feels lighter, that's what you're going to be doing, okay? So pay attention to those things. So your thoughts produce the feelings that produce the action that produce the results. Repeated thoughts are beliefs. All right, so I'm going to teach you this tool called muscle testing. So think about one thought about money right now. And I want you to stand up. Everybody stand up, and you're going to face north. So find north somehow. If you don't know, just face a location. The reason why I say north is because it's very grounding. You know, north is like earth energy. Because east is change, south is more like your ancestors and relative stuff. And then west is like flow, like more water energy. And then north is more the earth energy, okay? So go ahead and ask yourself, so that belief, money is the root of all evil. Okay, let's just all think about that thought right now. So go ahead and say your name. My name is, say your name. And normally if you're swaying forward, that's true. That's you. So say another name that's not related to you. Say, my name is Anthony. And if you go backward, that means you're not Anthony. So that means you're calibrated in muscle testing. So there are different types of muscle testing. I like my whole body, so then I know what's going on. Some people use the O-ring test, and then they try to break the thumb and the index finger. So when you say my name, say I'm a female, okay? So if you're a female, it's strong. And when you say I'm a male and it's easy to break, that means it's false. That's what it means, okay? So now ask the belief. So say money is easy to earn. Go ahead and say that. Money is easy to earn. So if you go forward, that's a true. And when you go backward, that's a false. So for those of you that for you it's hard, okay, so let's take a deep breath. Let me just clear that energy from everyone and just be open to receiving. That's really the key, is you're open to receiving what life brings you, knowing that you'll have the tools that you need in order for you to move through life with ease, okay? So I've deleted the weakness there and I strengthen everyone to be neutral, to making money with ease, grace, and flow. Say, money is easy to make with ease, grace, and flow. And you should be able to go forward. So we've corrected the weakness, okay? So when you have a belief that's destructive to you, right? To your business, to your whole family, if you look at that, what I do is you can just breathe it out, right? Release it down to the earth. And then you strengthen yourself to be neutral, to be able to shift that belief and allow yourself to have the opposite of that, right? If it's hard for you in the beginning, you can make it easier so that you can actually allow the universe to deliver it to you rather than you working hard to get it. Really, that's the key. Because in the past, if you look at the history, people work so hard, right? Like they plant, they have to prepare the soil, they plant the seeds, and then they have to wait for the harvest. It took a long time in the past to actually make money. And as we move forward in life, technology has made it easier for all of us to actually shift that different mindset. And if you think about it, they print money now. So it's really different, okay? All right, so here's an example of a human design chart. It actually, I got this from the internet. This happens to be Oprah's chart, if you guys look at it. So I want you to pay attention to the details of your chart, okay? So I'm going to indicate where to find it so then you know exactly what to do with your chart. So remember, this class is about what do you focus on, right? So I want you to look on the right side of the chart and you're going to see what they call the personality Jupiter. So you see this number 4 on the right, okay? So you go down your chart, after the male sign, there's like a little number 4 there. That's personality Jupiter, okay? So with her, she's a 35.6. So I want you to pay attention to the little number of you, okay? So for you, you probably have, Vienna, what was yours? You can unmute yourself.
11.5.
Okay, so the 0.5 is what she is, what we're going to focus on. So I'm going to share with you what that means, okay? So this is the main thing for your prosperity key. So this is all you, okay? So you got to pay attention to what makes you money. This is what makes you rich. So when you can focus on this, you're going to be just fine, okay? Don't worry about everybody else. This is your chart, so to speak, okay? So this is what it means. If you have a 0.1, that means you got to make your life very simple. Everything you do, whether it's your family life or whether it's your business, it's got to be so simple. Like, you know, how do you get leads, right? How do you sell to people? What kind of programs do you have? It's got to be so simple if you have a 0.1. If you have a 0.2 on your prosperity key or personality Jupiter, you got to be recognized. Now, what if nobody recognizes you? Well, that means you have to recognize yourself for the efforts you put in your life. Because if you don't, and you're waiting for someone to do it for you, perhaps you need to learn it for yourself. So for example, among you, who has a 0.2? And please share with me how you actually recognize yourself. Anybody who has a 0.2, please unmute yourself. Vero has a 0.2, it seems like. Okay, you praise yourself all the time. Very good. Number 3, if you have a 0.3, you need to celebrate. So I don't care if you buy a little piece of chocolate. Let's say you finished a project and you're like, how do I celebrate? Well, I do my boba drinks, right? Obviously, you guys know me as I go to 85 degrees. I get an unsweetened boba and that's how I celebrate. Okay, so that's my form of celebration for a project or something that I've done. So who has a 0.3?
I do, Vivian.
All right, Teddy, you gotta celebrate. So how did you celebrate yesterday?
I'm still working on it. The truth is that I do a lot of things as part of my self-care and self-love practice.
Okay.
But for some reason, I don't feel like I'm celebrating.
So it's a feeling, okay? Because obviously, think about it. What do we celebrate? Birthdays, right? When somebody graduated, like an accomplishment of some sort. So it may be the easiest way that you can gift yourself that celebration. It could be just putting your feet up on a couch or something, or getting a little massage using lotion. That's fine. Doesn't matter. You just have to learn how to celebrate. Okay.
I want to offer Teddy, you're great at celebrating others. So just turn that around a little bit.
Yeah. It could be a clap,
Thank
Teddy.
you. Thank you, Vivian.
Could be a clap.
Thank you, Vivian.
Yes. Okay. 4.4. Who has a 0.4? Now this
I
is
have a
interesting.
4 if I have the correct one. So is it the ninth one down? Is that what it is? The ninth one down?
Well, it's the 4. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to our 1, 2,
So-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, it is.
I'm a 46.4.
All right. Shifra means you have to have some form of charity. It could be when you buy your doTERRA oils, you contribute to that charitable organization. It could be that, right? Or it could be you're just walking down the street and you're like, oh, this person needs some food, you know, like a homeless person, and you give. That's charity, right? Now, the one thing though is make sure you also give charity to yourself, because if you don't, that's a problem, right? You can't give away everything and then you don't have anything for yourself. Does this make sense?
I give a lot to myself.
Okay, good. So then perhaps you can give to others also. Little things would work. You
Yeah,
start
I love to
with
give. I love to give. I just talked
Very
about
good.
that in your last section, last session. I'm
Yes.
a giver. I'm a giver.
Good. So that's charity. So if you have a 0.4, guys, your life will be better if you actually start doing charity. Okay. Power. Power is also a form of leadership. Now, I happen to have a 0.5. So let me tell you what doesn't work. If I start acting like a kid, or if I start acting like I'm a victim of some circumstance, just to let you know, money just escapes me. And it's when you are very conscious, you're like, oh, what just happened? Ooh, I did that. But if you pay attention to your human design and you are not, if you're a 0.5 and you're not really leading your life because you think others would lead you, that won't work very good for you. FYI, okay? And then 0.6 is nature. You gotta be around nature if you have a 0.6. Because if you're not, then unfortunately, again, life doesn't work well. Because if you look at nature, right, I've given this as an exercise. When I'm feeling depleted or like, oh, how come there are no clients? I actually go out in nature and start counting the leaves of the trees. And of course, I can't finish counting because there's too many, I lose count. So your prosperity key, your ability to actually attract wealth and money into your life, depends on how you handle your design, right? How do you treat yourself based on your personality Jupiter, okay? So please pay attention. From this day forward, you're gonna write down every single day, how do I actually be myself? Because we're all different, right? We're all different. Okay.
Are you picking up, Kayla?
Oh, let me mute Resi there. Okay, now, if you go to your design side, remember on the left side of the chart, this is actually your design Mars is, it should be 80% of what you need to be doing in your life, like your work or whatever business that you're operating in. So let me go back to our chart again, right? Do you see here on the left side, there's the, it looks like a male sign. Yep. That is your design Mars. So in Oprah's chart, she's a 46.4, right? Which means 0.4 is sales. Selling
She has
is
a 46
helping.
What number is she? 46? I don't see-
46.4. So Oprah needs to be selling or helping people. That is her main thing. Isn't she doing that?
I don't see 46.4 for her. I didn't see 46.
You didn't see 46? Well, it's there on the chart. So when you go back, you'll see it. So let me explain to all of you what yours is. So remember that it looks like a male sign, like a circle with an arrow. Everybody look on the left side of their chart. Okay, so now identify what needs to be happening in your business or in your life.
Hmm.
So if you're a 0.1, you need to be in production. Like you need to be working, basically, right? You need to be doing something in your business. If you're a 0.2, you need to be marketing. And you're like, I don't like marketing. Well, if you're a 0.2, you better live that design because that's your life. Now, 0.3, you need to be strategizing. Like you could be giving strategy to someone and you get paid for it, or you're the one strategizing for your business. Like you're creating the plan for, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to execute? If you're a 0.4, you need to be selling. Remember, selling is helping. Sales is helping someone. So whatever you're selling, whatever your product or service are, you need to be in front doing the selling. 0.5 is management. In other words, it's kind of like you're the supervisor, right? And then you tell other people what to do. And I've met a few people that are in management and then they're trying to do everything else. Of course, they make money, but then they also lose it. See, the issue with human design is like once you know the truth of who you are and you escape it, you try not to do it, you're just going to lose the money, unfortunately. It doesn't work that way. But once you stay in your lane and you hire out other people, that's a totally different story. And then 0.6 is philanthropy or investment. Well, you guys know what that is, right? you really like look out for, okay, so if we have extra money coming in, what do we do about this, right? So anybody has a 0.1 on human design.
Me. That was Lauren.
Oh, Lauren. Okay. What's the difference between a body graph versus, okay. Just do a body graph report. Basically the free one, because then it'll just show you. Now, I believe you can pay for the report itself. It doesn't explain to you the detailed parts of this. I learned this through my mentor, Beth Davis in Life Purpose Mastery. So this key information for me, like all I needed was, what am I supposed to do to make money, right? That's all I needed. It's like, okay, what's my prosperity key? What do I focus my efforts on? Okay. And then what is really my business culture? Like how many people am I gonna hire in order for me to be successful in whatever I'm doing? When you have, to me, those three pieces of information was good enough to do the next step. So that's my objective here today for you, is to not explain to you the whole chart, but I want you to focus on what are you supposed to do to actually feel good about how you make money, how you feel good about yourself, so that you can actually live your design and the purpose that you're meant to live. Okay,
Vivian, is this the one that should be 80% of our time of our
yeah,
work?
80% of your desk work should be your design Mars.
Thank you.
So please put down design Mars, 80% of what I need to be doing is this. That's really the majority of your time. If you start a business and you're doing all of these tasks, I can tell you, your head's gonna spin. I've tried it. And you guys know I'm pretty multitasker and I can go different dimensions, but this is too much for one human to do. That's why we hire people, the efficient and effective ones to do the work, right? So who has a 0.1? I think Lauren said she does. So in other words, it could be as tedious, Lauren, as like when somebody is going to do a presentation, you have to do the PowerPoint, okay? Or perhaps you kind of do the labor part, so to speak. Production is that, right? What needs to be done in order to get this product or service out? So that's production. Marketing, well, you know, we have like internet marketing and, you know, like speaking is a form of marketing, right? Like because you're broadcasting, you're sharing with other people what kind of product or service you actually have. Strategy is more, it's kind of like, okay, do I speak in order for me to get people? Do I actually teach in a college? Like those are different strategies, right? Or
So
do
I'm a
I
str-
just be on the phone all the time in order to get clients? Like you gotta teach, you gotta do strategy or tell someone the strategy that's most effective for the business if that's your design.
So I'm strategy.
Mhm.
And I think you told me at one time that if somebody just told you how to do it step by step by step, this kind of makes sense. Do you remember
No,
when you
you have to teach them the strategy, Shifra. You're the
I have
one
to-
teaching the strategy.
Oh, so
You're not,
I can,
probably you're not the one selling. So if you hate selling, then assign someone to sell for you.
I don't hate selling. It's just that I understand. Oh, that's so clear.
Yeah, so it's not like you have to tell them the strategy because that's your design. Because if you can see the whole picture, share it with them. It's like if somebody says, oh, you need 8 steps to do this, and you're like, no, you only need 2. So you share that strategy and you get paid for it. So you actually get paid for that idea
Oh, I
rather
love
Sorry,
than
it.
you
Vivian.
doing the work.
Vivian, which one is that again on the symbol?
Oh, the symbol is design Mars.
What does it look like? Or like what? Sorry.
On the left
1, 2.
side, it looks like the male sign. The
Eighth
circle
one down. It's the
arrow
eighth
on
one
the
down.
right. You see the 46.4 on Oprah?
Yeah, okay, the 8th one down. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
one. And then the next one is the design. Oh wait, I'm not done with what I was talking about. Sorry, I was jumping. So sales, right? Selling is helping, right? If you have a problem with that word, you're probably not going to sell a lot of things. That's just what it means. You're like, oh no, I don't want them to pay me. Okay, hire someone if that's really not your strength. Management is you basically say, okay, everybody, this is your job, this is your job, this is your job, right? If you're management, you got to tell them like they report to you technically. So everybody's assigned. You may have to write the job description for every single one and say, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. And then you report back to me. Okay, so that's management.
But what if you're
Anybody
doing,
has
if you're
management?
self-employed, you're doing it yourself?
Yes. Are you 0.5, Jackie?
Yes.
Okay, so do you see how it doesn't work if you're doing it all by yourself? Because you have to manage. It's almost like you have to have a hat and you're like, okay, I'm the Jackie salesperson. And then you step into another part of the square in your house and you go, oh no, what is it now? I'm gonna do marketing, Jackie marketer, right? So if you can play that role, like you have 6 different hats every single day of your life in business, then it's gonna work. So this is gonna work for one person if you're very good at boundaries and if you can say, okay, I'm doing this right now from 8 to 10, I'm gonna do sales. But from 10 to 11, I'm going to do management and see if my salesperson is doing their job well. You guys are laughing at me. Vienna's laughing, but it's so true. So you know how sometimes you wake up, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do today. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have a class that I have to teach. But like, did you do the PowerPoint? Right? So did you invite people? Right? Did you market that? Okay. So what's the strategy you use? Did I use YouTube, Facebook? Did I text people? Did I call them? Did I email them? There's so many things in business. That's why when you try to do it all by yourself, do you see now why you guys are getting so confused, inundated? And you're like, how come I'm not making money? Because you're not staying in your lane. I hope this is
I do love the strategy, Vivian, of different hats. I am going to find myself some hats so that I can keep it straight. Because when I'm trying to wear all 6 at once, I just go in circles. That's super helpful.
Yes. I mean, I
haven't
believe
hired
you.
things out yet. I'm still a solopreneur, but I'm
Yes.
moving into finding my people, my tribe.
Yes, exactly. And in the beginning, by the way, I'm not saying to hire all 6 of these. Okay, that's not what I meant. I meant if you're good at 2 things, okay, you stay in that lane and do it very well. Be good at it. And then if you hire the next person, usually it's like a VA or an assistant, right? You make sure you designate and you delegate what they're doing. Don't try to do their job for them because that's not going to work either. I've done that too, by the way. I mean, I've done all the mistakes that you guys can figure out because I've been in business a while. So, all right, this is Design Mars, okay? Put down 80% of what I need to be doing in my life or my business is this. Hey, you guys, it's your own astrology. So I did not invent this, right? You got this when you were born. So, all right, the next one is we're going to talk about what kind of business structure or culture should you build? Okay, so remember, I'm going to go back to our Oprah chart. The kind of business is do you see her number 4 on the left? Her design Jupiter is her business structure. So Oprah's happen to be a 0.4, which is a network. Okay, so let's define these terminologies. So individual means, so if you have a 0.1, you by yourself, like a solopreneur. That's good.
What side was it on, Vivian? What side? I'm sorry. What side?
On
was
the
it
left side, the design side, it looks like a number 4 is design Jupiter.
And how far down is it from the list?
It is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
Thank you.
Where am I again? All right. 0.1 is individual. You got to be by yourself. Your life is probably better by yourself. 0.2 is a partnership. Partnership. That's good, right? Like, ooh, I can get to divide the work between me and another person. 0.3 is a unit. So I happen to be a unit. So looking back at life, right? Because I had a doTERRA networking group in the past, and I was good the first few years until my group became so big and I care so much about every single one that it just died down because I could not hold that energy because I was not meant for that I'm responsible for every single one of them. So 3 to 15, I can take care of the builders, but nothing else. Like the builder should be able to take care of the other people, right? So if it's a unit, I happen to be a 0.3, I can have 3 to 15 people in my organization and my life would be just fine. Like that's the perfect sweet spot for me. Now, if
When you
you're
say
a point
organization, when you say
in your own team, in
Team,
your
gotcha.
own business, yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Now, if you're a 0.4, you're a network. You can actually handle more than 15 people. Congratulations. Vienna is a networker. Like she can do that,
Yay.
right?
So am I.
Yay.
Vienna.
So you could
I'm
have a
actually a
bigger
5.
network. Huh?
I'm actually a 5 society.
Oh, you are society. Oh, you're bigger than that even. So you're meant to, society means the masses, right? 0.5. So Vienna, emotion code practitioner, society. Yep, she got to take care of people. How about Jackie? Jackie's
What's
a
a four?
point
What's a four?
5. Point 4 is a network.
I'm
Meaning?
5 as well.
Yeah. And then point 6 is a system. So for those of you that are a point 6, you better have a system in place.
Why?
Literally. If you don't have a system, that's why your life is not working. That's why your business is not working. In other words, a system is like, you know how when you go to McDonald's, you know exactly what to get? You know exactly what to order. You're going to get the same thing over and over again because that's a system. It's been in place, right? It doesn't matter if I'm in Tokyo, if I'm in Japan, if I'm in America, it's the same system everywhere. That's a system. So if you're meant to build a system, but you're trying to be a solopreneur, you see how that doesn't work? I have one of my teammates like this before. She was a point 6, but then she's trying to be a solopreneur. That doesn't work. You lose money a lot when you don't do you, when you don't practice your own design.
So Vivian, the number 4, which is
Mhm.
15 and more, is that what you've been always telling me about big groups?
Yep.
Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, so you can handle big groups, no problem. And you can be in different networking things, right? It doesn't have that word network, so don't be hung up on the word network that you're just going to be doing networking events or networking
Oh,
stuff,
no, I
right?
didn't take it.
Yeah, you can handle multiple people in your organization technically if you just live your design. That's what
Got
it
it.
means. Okay.
So
Is
what does
this
it mean by
helpful?
society? What does it mean by
Society, right? You're meant to actually be with the masses, like really like go out there and market to the masses, appeal to the masses. It's a bigger reach. Are you a 0.5, Jackie?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's that.
And
Now,
like,
think about
So
it
point,
though.
so point 1,
Uh-huh.
so I need to be just 1 and 1. Is that what it is?
Right, so you're solo, right? Solopreneur. Are you a 0.1, Resi?
Yeah.
Okay, so you really need to know your stuff, right? As an individual.
Hmm.
That's you. Okay. Now, does it mean, I mean, have you had partnerships in the past?
I'm in a team right now.
How does it work? But you're pretty independent, I meant.
Right,
You're pretty
I am.
independent with the decisions, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
even
I
if
am.
you're in a team, like, are you responsible for other people in your organization?
No,
Okay. How's that working for you?
good.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Because you're individual. Is that making sense? So in
Yeah.
other words, you make your decision. The executive decision comes from you. Because can you imagine, like, let's say your husband is your partner, right? In the business as well. Like everything from, let's say, toilet paper, paper clips, or like, oh, are we going to go on this trip together? When the other partner doesn't agree, you see how that can cause an issue?
Hmm.
Yeah. So individual, you make the decision yourself, basically. You're the person with the last say on the things that happen in your business. That's what it means. Like nobody else influences you but you. Okay?
Got it.
As a 6, when you say build a system,
Mhm.
mean like everything from 0 to 8, like let's say a client's journey, or what do you mean by the system?
Right. So the system means, so let's say when you take in clients, how do you take in clients? It has to be the same entrance all the time.
Mhm.
Same thing all the time. That's a system, right? How do they meet you? So it doesn't matter if you came from a speaking event, Veronica, or if you came from like a networking event, or maybe they found you on a newspaper or TV. They have to go through that same route every single time. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. Does that help you?
Okay. I never saw myself as a system person, so this is all new for me.
Yeah, but then pay attention. It's funny when you start really living these designs of yours, if the birthday and the birth time is really correct, okay?
Yeah.
You're gonna be surprised. You're like, wow, I just built this thing, and then people started coming. You know how if you're having a hard time, let's say, getting clients, right? And then suddenly you build the system because now they have somewhere to go to.
Hmm.
If you don't build a container, like how am I gonna know, like, oh, is that the way, is that how I'm gonna drink water? So if there's rain, think about the system. If the rain falls down, that's a form of water, but then there's no bucket, right, to catch the rain. Okay, well, let's say it only rained from 7 to 9 a.m. So what happens after 9:30? You're like, where did all the water go? Like, I wanted to drink a little bit because I don't have any water in my refrigerator. I wanted to drink from the rain, but then you were a little bit late. It was like 9:30 when you're like, oh, I decided to go drink from the rainwater, but then there was nothing there because you did not create any bucket to pick up the rain, the water. Is this making sense? That's system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll be surprised once you start living your design. Literally, people will start to like, where did I come from? How come before I couldn't find my clients? But now I'm like, I got, oh, they're over there. Oh my Lord, like I have to like, oh, I gotta get ready now because they're actually ready to buy. Because finally you have a door, like I knock, you open, okay, you go, okay, take a seat first. And then now fill out this form, right? So that's a system, kind of like when you go to the healthcare system. They have different ways of fill out this information, do this next, do this next, do this next. That's a system. Yeah. Okay. I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Now, the last but not least, are you emotionally engaged in your business? So please write down your big why. Why are you even doing what you're doing? And please don't just tell me you want to make money, because sometimes that doesn't really answer the question. Because maybe you can ask yourself, why do you want to make that money? So everybody, let's do this, because I want you to really go down why you want to make the money. Because when you go deep, you probably figure out how you're using your energy, and you got to check in with you. Why do you even want that? So what is that going to do for you? So what happens if actually everything that you owe, it's already paid for? What are you going to do with yourself, right? Let's put on the chat, because I want to see, or you can unmute yourself, because it's really good to know why you want it.
So I put down my why. I wrote it down. I love it, what I wrote.
Why do you love it, Shifra? What is that going to do for you?
Well, my why is I love helping, teaching, showing people how to look and feel their best. That's my why.
So
That's
when they
my
look
why.
and feel their best, and they've given you the money in exchange for that, how does that make you feel?
Complete, satisfied. I just get this, I get this feeling inside every cell in my body that is joyful.
Okay, cool.
Because I help them feel their best. So I gave to them, they've paid me. It just gives me such joy.
Okay, so everybody go to your deepest why. Close your eyes, and I want you to anchor it, right? So if you do your thumb and index finger, I remember, so in the past, I realized I really didn't want the money. I wanted something else. But then now I got that, and I'm like, I got to get a new why. It's so funny. Your first why do I want it? Why do I want it? Why? I actually go like 7 to 8 layers deep, and I go, that's why I want that? You'll be surprised at your why. So why do you want to make more money? So why do you want to make them better? So why do you want to feel better? Why? And when you get to your deepest why, I want you to hold that thought and really anchor it between your thumb and index finger, because that's the very reason why you're doing what you're doing. Now, obviously, if everybody go to their incarnation cross, so let's all go there, because I want you to understand what is your purpose in life, right? Let me see if I have Oprah's here. All right. Oh, we don't have it here for her. Okay. but most likely it's 19.2, 33.2, 44.4, and 24.4 because it comes from these 4 areas. So your incarnation cross is the reason why you're here. That's the purpose in your life based on human design. And when you look at your profile, so I don't know if you're seeing my PowerPoint. So I'm a 1-4, which is
We're not seeing it.
omniscient- Oh, you're
No, we're
not
not
seeing
seeing
it.
it.
Okay,
No.
hold on a second. Thank you for telling me that because I have to exit and then share it with you again. Thank you. Share.
Is it on the left or the right side, Vivian?
No, it'll tell you
Oh.
incarnation cross. That is your design. That is your purpose. Okay.
Mine is right vessel of love,
Ah, yeah. So Resi, if you're not
right
Oh,
angle cross of the
right
vessel
angle
of love.
cross, right? Of love, right? So I'm going to show you
Fif-
guys where to Google it and you'll see exactly what it means.
15-15/10.
Right, right. So you have your own profile as well, right? So it says type, like I'm a 1-4. Do you guys see that in your report? So if you're a 1-3, you're the establisher of knowledge plus truth. Kind of hurts sometimes because some people don't want to hear it, right? So the key here is, and I have this channel of this freak genius, like I just blurt out the truth and sometimes people don't want to hear it. So I've learned to not open my mouth when I'm not being asked. Because otherwise I just say the truth and they don't like me and then suddenly they just move away from me. They just avoid me, right? So, but I'm a 1-4, right? But at the same time, it doesn't mean I can just blurt out whatever I know is truth, because if they're not ready to receive it at that time, they're going to kick me out. They're going to push me away as far away as possible. So I've learned that about people.
So
When they're not
Vivian-
ready, they're not going to hear you.
Yeah, so Vivian, it says my profile is 3-6. So on this chart, it says living contrast. But then when I go further, it says my incarnation cross is 64-63,
Mhm.
5-3. Where does that come into play?
Okay, so that's the incarnation cross is your purpose. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of this, and I'm going to send you all the recording, whoever signed up, right? So you're going to have this. So I just want you to pay attention if you're like, what am I supposed to do in life, right? My profile, I know I'm supposed to teach. So, okay, got it. So that means you're going to see me do this until probably the day I die, right? I'm going to be teaching. So for some of us, we have all different profiles. We have a different purpose, right, in our lives. So what I do is I go to, let me share with you where I go. I Google this, and then everything that you need is kind of there, basically. All right, here, I'm going to share this screen with you again. If you go to human design, remember for your incarnation crosses, that's your purpose in life. Okay, it says humandesign.tools. That's the website, humandesign.tools. And on the left side, you can see there are different types, right? Different profiles and different incarnation crosses. So who was the one who bought, Lauren, go ahead and tell me the 4 numbers that you have on your incarnation cross.
64-63 and 35-3.
Okay, 35 and then 3. So you notice, are you guys seeing my screen? So I'm
Yes.
typing on the right, the different crosses, the different numbers that she told me. Do you have the right angle cross of consciousness? Yep, it says
Yes,
64, 63, 35, 5.
yep.
It says here, this energy is the ability to seize power through the use of your mental prowess. You are here to transform your mental pressure to figure things out and communicate effectively to others, turning them into followers. Not everyone can push forward ideas to lead, but you have the energetic design to do so. So if you look at your life, right, you're kind of in a leadership role, like leadership management role, correct?
Yes.
So you're the one that would bring out ideas to people, basically, which you kind of did when you started doing mindfulness meditations, right, in a corporate setting. So do you see how you actually, and it felt good, right, when you did it? When you feel good, because when you're living your purpose, like you're meant to do it, you feel amazing. Whether you're paid or not, actually, you feel amazing if you look at that. So once you find that and you're like, these are the problems that the company has, I think I can help them with this. And you introduce that idea, that's really your job. So you could do that for a coaching coaching practice, so to speak, when you get out of corporate and you start looking at organizations and go, I don't think that thing is working. That process is working because you already know what it is. And then you can introduce a different concept or idea for them to actually like start with. Does this make sense?
Yes, thank you for guiding us to this website.
Yeah. This is very helpful because you guys can look at your profile and really study a little bit more of who you are. What I wanted to give you today is, for me, you know how I've been an energy healer and I've gone through so many other things. And of course, experience is the best teacher, right? But then if you have something that kind of gives you a clue already, okay, I meant to do this, this, and this. And I notice if I'm not living my design, the universe gives me a 2x4 and go, by the way, are you listening? Because it hurts when you kind of get this hit, right? You're like, ow, that did not feel good. It could look like loss of money, loss of relationships. It could be anything, right? That doesn't look so good. It's kind of like doesn't feel good either. So when you start to really study you, and I want you to just study those items we talked about today, because nobody can really be you except you. But once you know yourself inside out, just think about this. If somebody outside of you makes a comment and you're like, it's not like it doesn't feel good to you, but it's more like, is it really in line with my design? Because if it's not, they can say anything, positive, negative. It shouldn't affect you because you know who you are inside out. Because if you don't know who you are, you don't know who you're going to be when you mingle with other people, let alone your clients or other people that are in business. Do you see the importance of knowing you? You know you, and then it doesn't matter if you're in the forest. If I take you in a helicopter and drop you off by yourself, you can still, if your strength is sales, you can sell a rotten sock to someone if that is your purpose. You can have no money. I drop you off somewhere and your strength is sales. You can sell anything to get a piece of bread, even if you had nothing in your pocket, or if you have 25 cents in your pocket. It doesn't really matter, does it? Because your strength is within you everywhere you go.
Can I encourage people, Vivian?
Mm-hmm.
This has been life-changing for me. I felt like because I was such a people pleaser that I didn't know myself. I felt like I didn't know myself, but sometimes if I were doing a personality, something, I'd go, oh yeah, that's true. I could recognize it. But when I read the incarnation cross description, if I can just share the
share your incarnation cross. What was yours, by the way?
So I'm a right angle cross of tension.
Wait a second. Let's put it here somewhere. Okay, hold on. Where did it go? Let me just do it. So please share with me the numbers.
Okay, let's see where I have those.
So Vienna is our emotion code practitioner. And then when she realizes, because she has avoided tension all her life, by the way. Okay, so give me the four numbers.
48, 21,
21,
39, 38.
38. Okay, she's right angle cross of tension, and she has avoided tension all her life.
And there can be a little sub number if you get the longer report. And so mine's a right angle cross of tension 3.
Okay.
So this is the description I found.
Mhm.
I am designed to figure out how to provoke people to release tension and then guide them to restoring the flow of energy in their lives. And when
Mm.
I read that, I was like, that I am now exactly where I'm supposed to be. That's my current job description. So I was like, yeah,
Yay! Right.
it's worth studying. I encourage you to spend the
Yeah.
time to do that.
So again, just study your personality, Jupiter, right? Be good. First, you probably go, okay, am I a generator, right? A manifesting generator, right? The different types. Are you a projector? I'm going to share that with you, by the way, because I want you to understand this. So I'm a generator, and in the past, I would initiate every single thing because remember when you're making money or you go, okay, I'm going to go from an employee to an entrepreneur. I got to do something in my head, right? But then you're doing, and then you're like tired. Well, yeah, I got there. Adrenal fatigue, right? Like whatever exhaustion, whatever definition you like. I've had all that. Or you get sick. If you're a generator, you're supposed to wait to respond. If you're a manifesting generator, you're supposed to wait to respond. So if there's no stimulus, don't try to like reach out for all the different things. You wait for something. Really, that's what it is. So you could be doing your nature walks, right? Relaxing, celebrating yourself, recognizing how good your life has come so far. If you're a generator, manifesting generator, you're supposed to wait. I know we have a lot of energy. Literally, we can work for 12, 16 hours, 18 hours, no problem, consecutively. But we also can waste a lot of energy, so we're not focused on what our design Mars should be, right? 80% of what you need to do is on your design Mars. Because the design side is unconscious. You don't even know because nobody taught you that that's what you're supposed to do or be. Personality is how people, the right side of your chart, that's how people look at you. That's how people perceive you. That's how people perceive your programs. But design is very unconscious. You don't even know you have it. You don't even know sometimes you have that gift or talent. But when you finally know, like you're more conscious, like, oh yeah, that's what I'm meant to do. Okay, got it. And you do it, the less you do, the more people actually come because our aura as generators and manifesting generators are very magnetic. We pull energies in. That's a generator. Now, if you're a projector, flash briefing, you're not supposed to work all day. Projectors are meant to only work about 2 to 4 hours a day. And the rest of your time, you're supposed to be relaxing, enjoying yourself. Mary's like, you're a projector. So do you see now, Mary, how you got sick before? You're probably working like a mad generator. That can kill you. Projectors, that's how you can get sick because you're working like us. You're not us, okay? Projectors are only meant to work 2 to 4 hours. So to me, if it's not 100% yes, when somebody asks me, hey, can you do this? Can you show up? If it's not 100%, I say no, not right now. Sorry, can't do it. I cannot. Projectors can really, you guys are the guides of the planet. You're like the wise sage of the planet. So every information you deliver is precious if people are willing to listen. Okay. Now, if you're a reflector, you probably have everything open in your chart. You're like a mirror. Like even if I'm in front of you, you can kind of mirror what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. So they look like a, what do you call that? A cushion in a world of pins. I feel bad for the reflectors because they could just absorb every single thing. Because when you're blank, right? Like you're like, everybody is like sometimes projecting their stuff on you. So our reflector really needs to pay attention to their energy and take care of themselves because they're very, very sensitive. They're ultra sensitive to energies. That's a reflector. Now, if you're a manifestor, you're very bossy usually. You have to tell somebody what to do. You have to inform people. Like manifestor, not manifesting generator. Manifestor would say, That's not working. What if you do this? Like they have to be in that state, almost like of a command of I'm in control of it. That's a manifester. And you're just, now you don't have to take everything they say, right? But a manifester has to inform, but they shouldn't be doing all the work. They just kind of like, almost like they shock the system. They tell you what it is. And then off the races, generators and the manifesting generators, we do the work basically. That's how that works. Is this helping you guys understand yourself?
I didn't understand the last part that you guys did, so I'll have to go back and rewatch
Yeah.
it.
Cool.
I was so lost.
That's okay. Maybe it, sometimes it's new terminology. So when you get familiar with the terms, then you go, this is what I would suggest, Shifra. Stay in your lane, right? You're a manifesting generator. You guys
am.
get bored really easy, by the way. Generators, we can last like ever-ready battery forever. Manifesting generators, you're like, oh, I like this. And then you're like, oh no, like a third of the way, like, no, I don't like that project anymore. Goodbye. That's manifesting generators.
That's me.
Yep. So that means usually they have a lot of projects because like, oh, I'm bored with that one. So if you set up something properly, then it can just work for you, right? That system you set up works for you.
I have frustration in my not self theme.
So when you're frustrated, you're not really living your design. But if you're satisfied, you are. So
Yeah,
if you guys can see the like, are you satisfied as a generator or a manifesting generator? Are you at peace, right? If you're a projector, if you're not really living your design. So if I'm frustrated, I know I'm not supposed to be there. So then I go out and do a nature walk. That's the first thing I do. Well, for me, that helps, right? So you find what works for you to get rid of that frustration, because frustration is a form of anger. It pushes energy out. So it'll push your clients out. It'll push everything in your life out. Even the
What
good
about the signature, which is satisfaction for me? What does that
Yeah.
mean?
You have to be satisfied. If you're not satisfied with what you're eating, who your friends are, what you're putting on your body, your business, your life, your money flow, then life sucks, right? That's how that works. Right?
Vivian,
cool.
how the generator should work.
The generators we work now, depending on your design Mars. What was your design Mars, Veronica? Was it system though, or something?
Yes.
Yeah, so no,
So
system is your business structure. What is your desk work? What is your design Mars, your vocation? 80% of what you need to be doing would be point. What is your point?
The one to the right? Point.
The one on the left that has the circle with a moon, with a arrow.
That's a 5.
Oh, you're supposed to manage.
Oh my goodness,
people.
what the heck
You're
happened?
supposed to manage people. That's all you need to be doing. You shouldn't be doing the work.
So I need to find a budget to attract the team, and then I just stay and manage. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, sounds good, right? So I hope this is helpful for you guys. Any questions? Look at Teddy. She's an exemplary human. 6'2". Oh my gosh. Okay, so I hope this is helpful for you, right?
Good, Vivian.
Tomorrow, our emotion code practitioner, she's going to share with you her magic on emotion code, right? So I hope you don't miss that out. Tomorrow at 12:30, we're also gonna do, well, she's gonna be the star of the show tomorrow. And you guys are welcome to invite other people who may be interested in this kind of information, because obviously we're preparing you to what are the things we use in our system, in our ecosystem, in order to up level, right? So for me, if I have an outline that I got to do that, then you can actually heal certain parts of you that are like, oh, I'm afraid to do this, to do that, right? Well, false evidence appearing real is fear. So we're going to be really bringing you some of the technology that we use in our group, because it does work. It's like the shortcut to making your life easy, graceful, and flowing. So if you invite other people tomorrow, we have a 12:30 again with Vienna. I will see you here again. And I'm going to send this recording to everyone. So if you have further questions on the human design, like I said, I'm going to include the links there. It is a very big body of work. I'm not teaching the whole thing. I'm giving you a glimpse of what is possible for you if you could just focus on what you're meant to do, right? I'm not teaching the whole human design. They actually teach this in a year-long program. And I can tell you, if you just do what's right for you and follow your purpose, you're going to be fine. Like sometimes we use knowledge as an excuse, like, I got to learn that because if I'm not good at it, I'm not good enough. No, if you know the prime pieces, right? Like these are the things I got to do in order to be me. That's all you need to do. These are the things I need to do to be me, right? Once you know what that is, and the majority of work, whatever you do, that's your design anyway. It doesn't matter where you go, you apply at a job or you have your own business, you're still going to have to stay in that same design Mars, if possible, because that'll make you more money because you're in your lane. Is this making sense? It's simple, but I think your minds are like, well, no, it's not that simple. I can tell you, if you have money issues, yes, it's going to be complicated. But if you just follow what I just shared with you, that's all I needed to hear in the beginning. It's like, oh my God, I didn't know I could actually delegate some things because I'm not good at everything. That was my aha moment. That was it. And then of course, life changed completely for me. So thank you so much for today. And I will send you the recording, and I hope you enjoyed this beautiful time we have together. And I'll see you all tomorrow. And then Thursday, we're bridging spirituality and physical reality. Take care. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.